Welcome back to Smoked BBQ Source. I'm Ricer, and today I'm doing a rotisserie turkey. Yeah, I said turkey on the Weber Searwood. Around this joint, my family loves rotisserie chicken, so I have cooked a ton of them on a gas grill. But the Searwood has taken my chicken to the next level because, well, we're adding some wood flavor to it. So I'm pretty dang excited to see how this big bird turns out. Seeing that this is the first time that I'm doing a rotisserie turkey in the Searwood, I only got a 12-pound bird. I didn't want to get too big of a bird because I was a tad worried that it might actually start clipping up against that big flavor bar on the bottom of the chamber. If your turkey has some plastic ties around the legs or even one of those plastic thermometers, well, I suggest you just pull them out and throw them in the trash. I'm sure some people have used them in their grills before, but I don't really want to get plastic hot and then have it like letting off some type of odor in my pellet grill or even in my oven. If you're getting into cooking and you don't have a good thermometer, I highly suggest you get one because they're just a lot more accurate than those little plastic pop it's done type of thing. On this turkey, I want to give it a good brine. The brine that I'm using today, well, we will have a link in the description below, but I'll give you the basic 2-gallon recipe, but because I'm using my big briner bucket, I need to double it. Number one, you need 2 gallons of water, but you're only going to use 1 gallon and heat it up. The other gallon, you want to keep it cold. We need 1.5 cups of kosher salt, 2 cups of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of black pepper, 3 oranges cut into wedges, and also 3 lemons cut into wedges. You need 5 cloves of garlic, but if you're like me and you like a lot of garlic, well, go ahead and throw a few more cloves in there. 4 tablespoons of fresh rosemary and 4 tablespoons of fresh thyme. I don't get too fussy about it. I just want to make sure there's plenty in there, so I grab a bunch of sticks and start peeling off the leaves. Get that pot turned up to a medium to high heat, and once all the granules of the salt and the brown sugar have dissolved, then you can go ahead and start cooling it down. Now I usually let this get up to a small little rolling boil because I want those lemons and those oranges to kind of cook out some of the juices in them. Remember, that brine is going to be really hot, so you need to cool it down. The best way to do it is add a 1/2 gallon of water back in there and another 1/2 gallon of ice. But I always like to make sure that my brine is below 45 degrees before I put my turkey in it. Now close it up tight and let that turkey suck up all that deliciousness for at least 12 to 24 hours. Now before you start up your Searwood or anything like that, you're going to want to get this turkey on the spit. When it comes to shoving a chicken on there, it's pretty easy. The spine's kind of flexible and you can smush it up tight. But the bones in a turkey are a lot tougher than a chicken. So I have to admit, my first run around with trussing this onto that spit, I had to redo it. I thought I could just get the claws into the cavity and call it good, but it just felt a little flimsy and wobbly. So I decided to redo it and get the claws more into the backbone and the spine, along with still trying to catch a little bit of that bottom breast. I just used a couple of my go-to rubs for the outside of this bird, but if you're looking for a recipe on a good poultry rub, check the description below. Or if you're too lazy to check the description below, just coat it up with some salt, pepper, and garlic. I mean, that's really all you need. You could add a tad of paprika if you want a little bit of extra red color to it. And here's a pro tip. After you get it all nice and tight on the spit, open up your Searwood and see and make sure that it actually fits. The reason why I didn't truss the wings back behind the breast was because I was worried that they were actually going to clip that flavor bar. Hindsight is 20/20, but I figured it's too late now. I've done it twice already. Let's just get this thing cooked. The only reason why I say that is that your presentation of this bird is going to be a little bit better because you're going to get a little bit more smoke and golden brown on those breasts. Now when it comes to the Searwood, you don't have to really worry about any poultry not getting nice and dark. Every rotisserie chicken that I have done has come out to that beautiful dark mahogany brown. The only downfall about doing a turkey rotisserie style is that the skin tends to rip a tad when you're cooking it. Because this bird is very lopsided heavy on one side, side, well, it's putting a little stress on that skin, and it does end up tearing it a tad. For checking my internal temps during the cook, I'm actually using a Meter Pro Duo. I need to test it out, so I thought this was a perfect opportunity to put it on each side of those breasts. Now, I just did a customized cook. I'm bringing this turkey up to an internal temperature of 162 degrees. Now, if you don't have any wireless probes, just set a timer for every 30 to 45 minutes and check your temps. Once you get around that 150 degree internal temperatures, you're probably going to want to check it every 15 to 20 minutes. Even if I had the wireless probes in there, I still checked every 45 minutes. And I was pretty impressed how the meter compared to actually my ThermoWorks pen. They were pretty much spot on. One time it was right around 142 degrees on both of them, and the other time it was right around 155 on both of them. For this 12, or even you could go up to, I think, 16-pound turkey and be safe in the Searwood, I'm gonna cook it at 350 degrees. Now, because I'm doing this rotisserie style, all the juices from that turkey kind of run around the edges of it. So there really isn't any need to like add some duck spray to it. Okay, duck fat, sorry. Cooking spray was what I was gonna say. You don't have to do it because it's kind of self-basting as it goes. And trust me, I think if you add any type of oil or butter to the outside of that turkey, that's gonna get really dark. You're gonna wanna plan for around 3 to 4 hours, and this 12-pound turkey took 3 hours and 37 minutes to cook. But I also let it rest for an additional 30. You don't wanna serve that turkey piping hot, so let it rest, and that'll redistribute some of the juices throughout the meat. Now, a lot of you might be asking, is there a big difference between the rotisserie compared to like a spatchcock or a whole turkey? Yeah, I have to say there actually is. I think because it keeps continuously basting itself, it was really nice and juicy and tender. And the little bit that was dripping off from it and hitting that flavor bar, well, that's adding some extra flavor to the outside of it too. One thing for sure is the Searwood does a great job of smoking any poultry. You have plenty of smoke flavor and plenty of smoke color. Now, obviously, there's an advantage when you're rotisserieing a turkey because the smoke continuously hits the whole bird. Now, if there's something that I could do differently, I might not have added that real red paprika rub to this turkey because it wouldn't have been quite as dark. Some of you might be wondering what type of pellets I used for this cook. I used a combination of hickory and maple. The next time I do a turkey on the Searwood, I'm going to use a cherry pellet because I think it's going to give it a fantastic color. If you're watching this video and you already own a Weber Searwood and you don't have the rotisserie, what are you waiting for? It really has kind of added an extra little fun factor for me to cook on this pit. Now, we'll have more information about cooking a turkey in the description below, so check it out. I'm serious. The brine, the smoke, the extra little juiciness in the breast, championship. But I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Gobble, gobble.